The administration is seeking nearly $60 million to beef up security for the executive and legislative branches. These moves coming in the wake of last week's assassination of Charlie Kirk in Utah, but also come as the nation struggles to deal with the increase in political violence all across the board. That violence isn't limited to elected officials at the national and state levels. Family members have also been targeted and in some cases seriously injured, even killed. We've also seen attacks against protesters, corporate executives, and institutions, including the CDC and the U.S. Capitol itself. Mayors, school board officials, even election volunteers are also being threatened. NewsNation's Joe Khalil is live for us on Capitol Hill. Joe, the events of the past week really prompting lawmakers to further limit their public events, and that means their face-to-face time with constituents.
Yeah, and that impacts the job. And it's not just one or two. A lot of members have said that they're going to be thinking twice about public events now. Obviously, there was a lot of anger. There was a lot of sadness around the death of Charlie Kirk, particularly among Republicans. But there was also a lot of fear among lawmakers, whether they could be targeted if Charlie Kirk were targeted. Certainly, many lawmakers have very high profiles as well. And so after we've had this weekend now where they've had the opportunity to really reflect on things, what you're going to see starting this week are more calls for action, for actual things that lawmakers can pass to try to keep senators and lawmakers and other government officials safer, especially when they're away from Washington and in their home states and in their districts. That's going to start with renewing the money that was passed over the summer to provide extra security for lawmakers. And this stems back to that assassination in Minnesota over the summer back in June when the former State House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed. After that, lawmakers demanded and then got additional funds. There used to be a $150 a month allowance for security. That boosted up from $150 to $5,000. But it was only appropriated through June, July, August, and through the end of September. So on September 30th, that extra funding, that is going to run out. And there are discussions, I'm told by lawmakers I've spoken to today, that those are conversations that are happening. How do they extend it? What does that look like? Does it remain at $5,000 or does that change that dollar figure? So those are the things that are happening now. The White House, by the way, has also asked for $58 million from Congress for protection for the judicial branch and for the executive branch as well. So we're not just talking about lawmakers, but obviously lawmakers are the one that have to approve the funding. And then there are other ideas like Congressman Richie Torres put forward. He's a Democrat from New York. His idea would be to effectively mandate that Homeland Security provide drones for public events, for lawmakers and officials. And he says here, common sense dictates drone technology should be harnessed to scan every elevated structure with a line of sight to a target. If drones can enable the early detection and prevention of assassination attempts, why not use them? So we're seeing a lot of ideas being put forward here. We're going to be tracking this through the week and see what sticks. Nichole, I'll just add that it is entirely possible that you also see legislation for things like online, social media regulation for teenagers. We've heard Republican and Democratic members, governors, other officials talk about how that has had such a negative impact on younger people across the country that it sort of amplifies hate and division. So we may see something there. But just generally, the fear that lawmakers have is very real, something they say needs to be done, and it's bipartisan. Take a listen just after the death of Charlie Kirk was announced, what we were hearing from members on both sides of the aisle.
And it is absolutely gotten to a point that is where we need to really look towards our leaders to lower the temperature and also lead by, I believe, in my view, ensuring that we have gun safety and laws against violence in the books.
I will not be doing any outdoor events anytime soon. We will not be doing any public events anytime soon until we have a better handle on greater security controls.
So Mace running for governor there, that could impact her run. AOC, obviously very high profile. We just mentioned tonight, around 6:15 before the House votes tonight, they are doing a vigil and a memorial moment for Charlie Kirk today.
All right. Joe Khalil live for us there on Capitol Hill. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.